Action.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is Jay Nanda, San Antonio Metal Music Examiner with Examiner.com, having the privilege right here, sitting in between two of the guys from Death Angel. You know Mark Osegueda, lead singer, Rob Cavestany, and we are having an incredible treat. Just to summarize for you really quick, besides having the pleasure of talking to these guys, we are doing so aboard Royal Caribbean's Majesty of the Seas. It's the first annual 70,000 tons of metal cruise. 40 bands playing here. We are on our way right now to Cozumel, Mexico. We'll arrive there tomorrow, and we are here with the guys. How you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah.
Well,
amazing.
It's a fantastic experience to be here with you guys, and I guess I'll just get the obvious question right out of the way. I mean, tell me first of all how you guys got hooked up as one of the 40 bands to be on this ship, and what are your impressions so far?
I don't know how we got hooked up. We got offered to play, and we thought it was brilliant. We were stoked, man. It was perfect timing, and it was a great opportunity. So, we jumped on that.
Yeah, I think we were one of the first 20 bands. I think we were somewhere in the teens when we got announced, and we had just played a Sweden rock cruise the winter prior, and it was that was one overnight cruise, and with 8 bands that we headlined. We had such an amazing time just on an overnight cruise, much smaller ship obviously too. But when this opportunity came up, 4 days coming to go to Mexico, and this time of year, we thought, all right.
I was going to ask you guys if you've been on a cruise before in your personal lives, just a
I've not.
Yep.
Not like this. Just that Sweden rock cruise in the middle of winter, cutting through ice. So it wasn't like you're all hanging out at the pool deck.
Exactly. No, this is amazing.
This is different.
Well, this thing has pretty much been in the works. I guess they were telling us earlier today for the last 4 years, but I guess the booking of the bands has been kind of in the past year. And like we said, we are traveling right now on the way to Cozumel, Mexico. We will arrive there tomorrow. You guys have any? That's the one day that the bands are not playing. Just for those of you who don't know, there's 40 bands on this trip. They are playing shows nonstop. Where else can you see bands? I believe Malevolent Creation was playing at 3 in the morning last night. A 3 to 4 a.m. show. I mean, that's practically unheard of. Bands are playing one set of shows on the way to Cozumel. We're taking a break tomorrow in Mexico. And then on the way back to the States in Miami, they're playing a whole nother set, each band. So how has that been for you guys? I mean, to me, it seems like a very informal setting for a concert. You guys just kind of winging it, playing your regular show. I mean, as far as set list?
No, we're not. We're doing 2 different sets for this. Because this is, for many, this is, kind of a vacation one-off, or, 2 off, or whatever you'd call it. But for us, we're starting our tour right at the end of this thing. So when this boat gets to shore, that night we drive up to Tampa, and we're playing that night's the first, land show of our U.S. tour. So we have 30 shows, almost in a row, practically. So, for us, we're in tour mode right here. But because we're doing the 60-minute sets, 2 different ones on the same ship, so we're going to do 2 different sets, and our headline set and the club show is much longer than that and everything, so we're going to make it a little interesting.
And that's a great segue, because in a couple of weeks, February 15th to be exact, you guys will be in San Antonio at the White Rabbit. And that's a very special show, because you guys are playing with, I believe, Lazarus AD, Bonded by Blood, and you're doing the 3 or 4 Texas dates in addition to the rest of the tour. Those 3 or 4 dates you're also doing with DRI. So, I mean, have you guys toured with these bands before? What do you think about that?
This is the first time with these other guys, Lazarus and Bonded by Blood. They're doing the whole tour with us. And then DRI, we just played a million times with them in the past.
Yeah. Back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s. Mostly at home, but actually I think a couple times we played with them definitely in France one time at some crazy festival, and a couple.
And in Los Angeles.
And in Los Angeles.
That's not home.
That is not home. So,
it's not home.
It's always
same
fun.
state.
It's fun to be show up, be in some other place with people you know from home and stuff like that. So.
Well, I was going to ask you guys as far as the bands that are on this ship, because I had the pleasure of interviewing Chuck Billy moments ago from Testament, and asked him which bands he wanted, and of course he was a little partial to the Bay Area scene, to the bands here, which obviously includes you guys as far as California. So, do you have any preference as to which bands you are really stoked to see on this ship?
I saw the person the performer I wanted to see most of all on this entire cruise, I saw last night, was Uli John Roth. That's why it was amazing.
Yeah.
I passed out through it, and that's why I wanted to see it very badly. But I'm gonna see him when he plays.
That's the beauty of everybody playing two shows.
Exactly.
One on the way there, one on the way back.
I got hammered during Exodus, and that was.
Yeah.
Exodus was the very first band to go on, and we saw you hanging out backstage.
Oh, yeah.
To the side of the stage for at least most of the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were enjoying Exodus. You know, we just got off a tour with those guys. We just did a month with them, so it was fun seeing them. And of course, all our Bay Area, Bay Area friends.
Yeah.
I just saw Forbidden a minute ago.
Yes.
Looking forward to see Testament. I want to check out. I do want to see Fear Factory.
Yep. I want to see Raven.
Raven.
Even though they go on at 3:15.
Friends of ours. Sanctuary. They're gonna play right before us tonight. Check them out a bit.
Well.
It's been, so there's a lot of bands, man.
There really
is. Good stuff.
And any impromptu jam sessions or surprises you could kind of give us a hint towards? Anything that might arise the rest of the trip?
Not that I know of currently, but you never know.
I'm sure people are going to start drinking in bars together and I was like, hey man, why don't you join us on stage for, Long Cold Winter by Cinderella.
Do you know that song?
No, in fact I do.
Well, talk to me a little bit about Relentless Retribution. Came out in North America, in the States, September 14th. I personally loved The Killing Season very much, and at the time I thought, okay, man, they set the bar high. This is going to be tough to top. Relentless Retribution is a kick-ass record. If you haven't checked it out yet, go do so. What was your guys' objective in the studio? Are you happy with the way it came out? Share a little wisdom with me on that record.
Happy with the way it came out, yes.
In a huge way. I mean, that was just this album coming out was a triumph for us. Losing 2 original band members and then finding replacements for them, then writing music and overcoming just the transition of working with new people, and that was a great deal of what the subject matter was about in the songs, writing lyrically, and we knew that it was going to be intense and very personal, and that we wanted to step it up as far as aggression, and I think, I think it shows. The riffs Rob wrote were much more, I guess, just vicious and a little more saber-toothed, and it pushed, the subject matter of lyrics I wrote, and I know that he wrote, and for that we knew we wanted to get a producer that could capture that, and we went with Jason Sukoff, and he pushed us even more and brought out intensity and an aggression that I think we haven't had on an album in quite some time. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, now talk to me a little bit about if there's ever a band out there who is a living example of a family tree. The way you guys start out, a lot of bands start out when they're young, in their 20s or so. You guys were like, what, 15 or so when you kind of first formed?
When we very first formed, I was 13. Andy, our drummer, was 9.
Wow.
So yeah.
And I mean, it's obviously you've got an example of just when you were young kids, this is what you wanted to do. You had your vision set, right? Or did you just kind
prior
of
to the band even forming, actually?
Pretty much. Pretty much so.
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of kids that would get into music and stuff and want to have a band do that, and we had our vision set as well, but I mean, we just followed through in a big way, I guess. I mean, we just put the work in starting very young.
Yeah.
And just kept it up, really. Right.
Well, as far as the cruise, I mean, the shirts are going crazy off the hook. And a little story I was mentioning to Mark and Rob as I walked in. I bought the shirt last night. It was after midnight. There were only about 60 people waiting in line. The problem was they only had one woman working, so it took forever. I waited a good half hour or so, which wasn't that long to get this shirt. But the funny thing is, when I asked for the shirt, the woman who was selling the shirt says, "Excellent choice." So I'm like, "Oh, you a big Death Angel fan?" She's like, it wasn't yes or no. She was basically like, "No, it's a great shirt." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because it's so soft."
Yeah.
She loved the quality. She loved the material of the shirt. So she told me, "Tell Mark if you guys interview or if you interview them, tell him." I said that. So there you go.
That's killer.
So
I like that too.
And
like
just to show you the
shirts.
back of it, it's got the dates of the upcoming tour.
Yes, sir. Starting
There
with
you
the
go.
cruise.
And like we said,
And your city might be on there.
yes, and like we said, February 15th at the White Rabbit, San Antonio. So any final words, guys? Any plans for Cozumel tomorrow?
Get off the boat.
Get off the
First
boat.
of all, see what the hell's going on. I don't know. No specific plans so far.
Yeah. Tequila, tacos.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
It couldn't be any better. There's word that this may be an annual thing, so if you were not able to make the 70,000 tons of metal cruise this year, save up your cash, because there'll be another festival like this, most likely in the future, going somewhere with killer bands like Death Angel. You can't go wrong. So for Mark, Rob from Death Angel, thanks for watching. This is Jay Nanda, San Antonio Metal Music Examiner, examiner.com, signing off.
Yeah!